Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. This is Zika's Hope. On today's video I'll be showing us how to make this beautiful dress, mermaid dress that you're seeing right now. If this is what you would love to watch, kindly sit back. The one on the left inspired the one on the right, so just sit back as we roll on this journey. We're going to go ahead and draft the top first, as in the upper part of the dress, before we go down and draft that of the down part of the dress. And you can see on my table is my paper. I've already laid out the lines, the basic lines we need. That's the shoulder line that I am showing you right now, and from the shoulder line to the bust line is 12 inches. I've already gone ahead to mark that. Then from that to under bust is 17 inches, and from the shoulder to the waistline is 20 inches, which I have already marked, as you can see. I'll go ahead and take my neck width and my neck depth. The neck width, I'll be going ahead to mark. First of all, I'll be going ahead to take my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches, and 16 inches divided by 2 will give me 8 inches. On that area, I'm going to come down by 1 inch to form my shoulder slope. This is our normal measurement. Then I'll go ahead and take the neck depth. The neck depth is 3 inches, and then the neck width is 4 inches. Then I'll use my curve ruler and then connect the two dots, which I have already identified, as you see me doing right now. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to use my ruler to connect the slope to join the neck width. And from here, I'm going to take my armhole depth. My armhole depth is 9. I am going to mark 9. How did I get 9? That is my bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches will give me 9. My bust measurement itself is 41 inches. That is the way to get your armhole. So I'm going to connect my armhole from the shoulder. I'm going to draw a straight line to join the chest line. The armhole automatically becomes the chest line. Then from here, I'm going to find the midpoint of the armhole, and I'm going to do a marking there. Once I'm done with that, I will go in from the midpoint identified by 0.5 inches. Then on my bust line, I'm going to take my bust circumference measurement, which is 41 divided by 4 will give me 10.25. I will mark it there and mark it on the chest line. Then I will go ahead and use my curve ruler to connect the 3 points. As you can see what I have shown you. Just watch me as I do this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my bust span, that's nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8, and 8 divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. I'll mark 4 inches on my bust line, under bust line, and then the waistline, and then the chest line too. I will use my straight ruler to connect the dots. I'm going to go in by 1 inch from that side, and then on the other side I'm going to go out by 1.5 inch on the waistline, and I'm going to do the same thing on the under bust line. 1.5 inch by this side and 1 inch by this side, and then 1.5 inch by this other side. Then on the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. I'll mark it there. I'll mark the 1 inch. Then I'll use my ruler to rule and connect the dot from the waistline to the under bust. Then I'll use my curved ruler and connect the under bust point to the 1 inch I came down with on the bust line. Just watch me as I do this. On the chest line, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the waist area. I'm going to come out by 1.5 inch by this other side, and then by the other side I'm going to go in by 1 inch, and I will use my curve ruler and connect it to the bust line the way I did the other one. And you can see that our bustier is formed already. Okay, I'll go ahead and input my body measurements. We have already taken our bust measurement initially. So what I will just do is to look for if there is any difference within the bust line, so that I can add it to the already marked area. So you can see we have just like half an inch. So I'm going to add half an inch, and then I'll go ahead and also add on the waist and the chest line. I'm going to add 2.5 inch, which is the allowance we give for the bustier. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it on the bust, on the chest line. Then on the waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement. My waist measurement itself is 36.5, and 36.5 divided by 4 will give me 9.1 thereabout. So I'll just mark 9.1 there. Then I'll go ahead and replace the 2.5 inch which we took in for our darts. I'm going to replace it. I'll use my ruler to connect the dots which I have already formed. So just watch me as I do this. Okay, here we go. The next thing I'll be going ahead to do is to add my sewing allowances to the side, which is 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead and mark it on all the lines. 1.5 inch allowance. Then I will use the stretch ruler and also connect as well. those places are going to go off. Those places I'm ticking now, we are going to yank them off. So on the chest line, I'm going to come down by half an inch. Depending on how revealing you want yours to be, you can go up if you want. You can go down by more than half inch if you like. So on the armhole, I'm going to come down as well by half an inch. Then on the bust point, that's the bust palm, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. You can go decide if if you have a big bust, you can go up by 1.5 as much as 2 inches, depending on how revealing and how. But with this 1 inch, the bust is going to be well covered. So I'm going to connect the half inch I went in by on the center front. I'm going to connect it to the 1 inch I went up on the chest line, and then I'll also connect this. Just watch me as I do this. I'll also connect it to the one of the armhole, to the half an inch I came down on the armhole. Just watch me as I do this. I'm going to draw a curve. It's going to form a curve, just like this, just the way you see me do. Then I'll use a stretch ruler and connect the one on the armhole. You know, this is a bustier with a yak, so we are forming our yak. So what I will do is just to use my curved ruler to join the extension which we already have up, to join the new curve we just formed right now. The way you see me do on the video, that's just it. That's basically it. We are done with our drafting. So I'll just extend the lines to meet the extensions that we made under the armhole. So once I'm done with this connection right now, I am going to go ahead and cut out our drafting, and you can see it is very beautiful. If you have watched to this extent, kindly share, like, subscribe if you have not done so, and put on your notification bell to always get notified. I just want to say thank you for sitting through. And this is our cutout. As you can see, we'll go ahead and draft the back. You can see my pattern paper for the back already laid out. You can see my zip allowance, then my bust line, and then my waistline. That's the only thing we'll be needing, and the shoulder line. Then I will take my neck width and neck depth. The neck depth is 1.5 and the neck width is 4 inches. I'm going to connect it the way you see me do right now on the video. Then I'll go ahead and take my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 16, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. I'm going to mark that, and then I'll come down by 1 inch to form my shoulder slope. Then I will connect the dots. After this, I will take my armhole depth, which is 9 inches. I'm going to mark. Then that automatically forms our chest line. Because this is the back armhole, no need of identifying the center point. I'll just use my curved ruler and connect it once I have identified my bust circumference, which is 10.25, which I've marked. I'll mark it on the chest line, and then I'll use my curved ruler and connect it simply the way you are seeing me do right now, because this is the back armhole. So I'm going to take my bust span, which is 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm taking it on the chest line, waistline, and the bust line. I'm going to connect it the way you see me do right now. So on the both sides of the line, I'm going to go in by half an inch and then go out by half an inch as well. Then I will just connect directly to the chest line, as you see me do right now. The back is very easy to draft, unlike the front that will have to do a lot of ceremony, but this one is just straightforward. Then since I'm done with this right now, I'm going to take my body measurement. As you know, our waist is 36, which is 36.5, which is 9.1. I'm going to mark it there and then replace the 1 inch I took for the dart intake, which is 1 inch. Then I will go ahead and add my 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I'm going to go ahead and take, we have already taken the bust span, so I'm going to go ahead and take my 1.5 inch allowance. Then the other dot you saw me do is just the small allowance that came down there. So what I did on the bust line, I'm going to replicate on the waist, on the chest line. Then I'll use my ruler, stretch ruler, and connect the 3 dots as you see me do. This is basically it for the back. Then on the zip allowance, I'm going to go out by or come in by 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch, and then I will connect it up to the chest line. This is to avoid any bulginess at the back where the zip is placed, so that the back will lap. Then what I will do next is just to cut it out, and that's basically it for the back pattern. So here we have our back pattern drafted, and then the front pattern as well. This is all for the upper part of our dress. That's the back and that's the front. So we'll be going ahead right now to draft the down part of the dress. Here is my pattern paper for the down part. That's my waistline, the hip line, then the nail length. That's where not actual the nail length. That's where I want my fleet to start. So that's just it. Then I'm going to go ahead, because I'll be using this for the front and back pattern. I'm going to go ahead and take my zip allowance. That is what I'm doing, 1 inch. Then that's nail length is not actually my nail length. The nail length is supposed to be 22, so I came up by 4 inches extra. That is where I want the flay to start. Depending on you, you can decide to start your flay from where your hip stopped. So it all depends on you. So I want my flay to start a bit little above my nail length. So what I'm going to do right now, because I'm using this to draft the back and the front pattern together, I'm going to fold in the zip allowance, which I just gave now. That is what I am doing right now. I'm going to fold it in, so we'll go ahead, so that it wouldn't confuse us, so that we'll go ahead and mark the normal measurement for the front. I've successfully done that right now. So we'll be going ahead to take our measurements. The waist measurement is 36, and 36.5 divided by 4 is giving me 9.1 inch, which I have marked. You can see it there already. Then from my waistline to my hip line is 9 inches, and then I have already explained that of the nail length. So my full length itself is 36, and then I added 2 inch for hemming, although it will not be hemming, but I just added it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my waist circumference, my hip circumference, which is 41, and 41 divided by 2 will give me 10.25. I'll mark it. Then on the nail length, on the nail area, I'm going to take the same thing on my waist. I'm going to mark the same thing on my waist, on the nail area, and then on the full length itself, which is what I am doing, which is 9.15. Then I'm going to use my curved ruler and connect the dots which I have formed. And that is it. So what I'll just do next is just to add my sewing allowances, which is 1.5. After that, I'll just connect it with the ruler the way I did the first one. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Once I'm done connecting the dots, I'm going to, on the nail length, I'm going to divide whatever I have there into 3. What I have there is 9.1 inch or thereabout. So I'm going to divide it into 3, which is 3 inches. So I'm going to draw a line to the full length. From the nail length to the full length, we are going to be doing a slash and spread there to have our mermaid or fish or fillet, to have our fillet. So I'm going to make a straight line there right now. Just watch me as I do this. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the pattern. Alright, I'll go ahead now and cut out the slash and spread area. I'm just going to cut it in such a way that it will just remain a little thing that will hold it, so that when I spread it, it will be okay. That's just the way it will be. Okay, you can see this is our pattern. Now remember, we're using it for the front and the back pattern. So we are done with the drafting of the patterns. So what we are going to be doing now is to transfer it to our fabric. I want to say thank you so much. I'm giving you a thumbs up for sitting through up to this extent. If you are still with me, kindly give me a thumbs up, share my video, like it, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and put on your notification bell to always get notified whenever I post a new video. Here you can see I am already on the material right now. So I'm going to be slashing, I'm going to be spreading this right now, because the front is folded into 2 and it's not going to have any opening there. So I won't be able to spread the first one. That's why I had to open the center one, so that I'll be able to spread it out. You can see you can spread it to any amount you want. For me, I don't want it too full. I don't want it too spread. So I'm just going to spread it, slash it, or spread it anyhow. You can decide to spread it anyhow you want. You can decide to make it very large. I did not use any particular measurement for this, no. So I am just slashing it the way I felt it is okay, using my discretion. You can also use your discretion as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out after I have successfully spread the draft. But on the down area, I'm going to come down again by 2 inch. If you want your own very flowing, you can come down by 5 inch, you can come down by 10 inch, but I don't want it to be too sweepy on the floor, no. So I'll just come down by 2 inch. That is what you'll see me do exactly now. I'm coming down by 2 inch. And once I am done with that, I am going to cut out. I'm going to cut it out. Remember, I said depending on you, depending on what you want, depending on your preference. If you want it to flow in, you come down by as much as 10 inch, depending on you. So we have it cut out right now. I'm going to proceed to cut the back part. And remember, we are using the same pattern paper to cut out the back part. You can see how beautiful it's already looking. You can see how good it's looking. This is the front part of the dress. Okay, you can see the way I slashed. You can see the way I spread out this one. Look at the zipper area. I've opened it up. I've already, you can see the way is spread out. I still don't want it big, but if you want your own much, this area of the zipper area, you can go ahead and spread it the way you want. If you want your tail to be longer, you want it to be very long, what you just do is to spread this very like with like 15 or 20 inches wide. Then you come at the down part of it, as in the length, you can come down with as much as 20 inches on the down part of it. But me, I don't want it too long. No, I've already explained that before. And here we have it. My cutout is ready for our mermaid dress. That's the front part, that's the back part. That's the back part, and then underneath is the down part of the dress. So if you enjoyed this, kindly give me a thumbs up, like my page, share it, and subscribe if you have not done so. Put on your notification bell to always get notified whenever we post a new video. Just sit back and watch out on this page, because the next video I'll be posting is the joining of this dress, which I know you wouldn't want to miss. See you in my next. Stay tuned.